It's Saturday, the 1st of March, so the year is marching on. Calm overnight. Must have been overcast because there's not much dew. It's a very benign forecast. Trying to toss up as to what I'm going to do. Haven't made a decision yet. It's tempting just to have a lazy day, but I'll have breakfast and pontificate. Well, it's too good a weather forecast to waste, so I think we'll go and have a look outside the harbour. In the hope that there's going to be some sailing, I'll unzip the stack pack and get the halyard ready. Easier to stand on the cabin top here than outside the harbour. Next job's going to be the anchor. We have to start, or at least energise the port engine for the anchor winch to work. The tanker from yesterday's gone. We have 2 log ships down at the Northport. One that arrived yesterday and one that must be just about ready to go. Heard the Aotearoa chief on the VHF. Sounds like they're just about to arrive to Whangarei Harbour. Right, well, we're in the channel. We'll be heading that away. Well, I can see the Aotearoa chief, so it's on its way in, past Fairway Buoy, which I can just make out in behind it. Now, these guys are fishing, we're doing poppers for kingfish around the channel markers. We're pretty much at high tide at the moment. There's Smuggler's Bay and Busby Head on our left. A popular place for people to fish from. I've got the main up, but we'll get out from underneath the hills before we turn the engine off. Right, well, I'm heading for the chicks, still keeping motor sailing just on the port engine at the moment. Just before we get past the wind shadow Bream Head, and then we'll just about turn the engine off. We're coming up on the end of Bream Head. But laying the chicks is going to be a little bit hard in one tack. There's not a lot of wind. I'm thinking we might change course and head to the Hen, or maybe even sail rock. Oh, I've updated the trip report, so we're heading roughly towards the Hen at the moment. We're on a much more pleasant reach. Might as well put some lures out. It's been a while since I've last put these out in the anchor. Nothing too sophisticated. Around the stern cleat, a bit of cord, a bit of bungee cord, a bit more cord, and then a fairly long trace. That one's a bibbed lure. Same idea here. There was a special, I presume, on bright yellow line. And then back there we have a snub-nosed lure. If you go fast enough, it breaks the surface, throws bubbles up. It's 10 o'clock. While we wait for nothing to happen, it's time for a cup of coffee. A little bit bumpy out here, not too bad. Autopilot's doing a good job. We don't have a lot of wind, probably 8 knots because we're dragging the apparent wind forward a wee bit. It's lumpier out here than I expected it to be, but we're still making progress, no rush, lovely day. There's the chicks. No fish so far. I'm not wildly optimistic anyway. Here's the hen, and there's Sail Rock. Well, seeing we're out here, our granddad has been voyaging with me, or his ashes have, so Mum was scattered out by Sail Rock, and granddad wished the same, so I think we'll carry on to Sail Rock and perform that duty. So granddad's been sitting peacefully here. Just to avoid confusion, my father, known as Granddad of course, as usual once you get grandchildren, and also affectionately known as Salty Old Sea Dog. So certainly on Catman 2 he sailed with me, assisted greatly in maintenance, also in our previous boat travelling light. He and Grandma, my mother, used to race with us and cruise with us and took the boat out on their own. He would have been very impressed with WAKAWAKA. We've got Salty Old Sea Dog and Salty Old Sea Dog seat. It's 3:30, we've sanded the whole side, this side of the mast. Granddad's de-dusting, and we'll put some epoxy primer on.
So you've got to put new ends on like this lot, haven't you?
Yep, crump the ends.
Yeah.
Wind's dying down and there's, well, maybe come behind us, maybe it's just the apparent wind dropping back. Well, as we're getting closer to Hen, it's blocking some of the easterly swell now, so a bit more pleasant. We've just got a long, low swell and not the chop that was on top. Oh, it's a nice day here, and much better now the chop's gone away and even the swell's just about down, as we're on the lee side of Hen Island. We've got a boat anchored over there. So it's volcanic. There's a passing resemblance to Bream Head, and there's an amazing rock spire there. There's looking past the western end. And this is Lady Alice Island of the Chicks. Over there is Great Barrier Island. It's a good day trip from Whangarei to there. And there's a little barrier. Can't land there, no anchorages. Always seems to have a wee cap of cloud on top. Sail Rock of course. And then looking down here, we can just make out Kowau Island, and back this way is Cape Rodney. Right, well, it's coming up to 12 o'clock, so I think it's time for lunch. So we'll pop down through the front door, and I have some salad to eat. So it's left over from yesterday. Wind's a bit fluky here on the lee of the Hen. Oh, I've engaged the iron genoa. Oh, there's Whangārei, and there's this big sandhill. And a bit further down is Tiara Point. Right, so I think here will do. Bye bye, salty old sea dog. Oh, rest in peace. We need to head back in that direction. Oh, well, it's 12:30, that duty's done. And can now sail back. We've got a very small boat out here. That's a wee trimaran. Looks like a wetter trimaran. It's like us, not much wind in the lee of the Hen at the moment. And he's tacking. I think we can say there's currently no wind. Hopefully a wee gust will appear, otherwise we'll be motoring again. We're making slow progress in the right direction, and we're getting wind coming past the or over the western end of the Hen, and I'll set a waypoint back towards the harbour entrance near Busby Head. And it's 10 nautical miles away, so that's about 4 hours at this current pace, but I'm sure the wind will increase. It's a very pleasant sail back, a nice breeze coming through the front door, and there's the easterlies behind us, well, the swells are behind us, it's a bit smoother. And we're closing on Bream Head and heading for our usual waypoint. The compromise between being under the hills and staying out of the channel. So it's low tide at about 3:30. Yeah. And it's 2:30 at the moment. Oh, we've just caught a fish. Where's the line? Well, two. There's one on the other one, I think. Just like Carway. Oh, that one got away. Let's try the other one. That got off as well. Oh well. Two caught, two released. Oh, we're doing over 6 knots now. I've pulled the fishing lines in. As, I don't want to be catching anything when I'm starting to get close to the entrance and having to deal with it. Oh, we've got time for a cuppa. Well, there's Fairway Boy, the start of the shipping channel. Oh, we're getting some of our usual gusts off the hill. Mount Mania is back in view. Smuggler's Bay, Mount Mania in behind. Bream Head, of course. There's a couple of boats out at Peach Cove. So there's the channel over there. We've still got outgoing tide. I'm keeping closer to the channel as the tide shouldn't be that much. Gets me away from the wind shadow of the hills. Right, well, we may still have to motor, of course. And we've got to watch out for all the boats fishing. Oh, there's the gap with Frenchman's Island. And used to take Kathmandu through there, but I'm not game anymore. Right, looking back to whence we've come from. Oh, wind's gone straight on the nose. I'm going to hand steer because autopilot can't react fast enough. We did motor briefly to get out of the channel because there was still a reasonable outgoing tide, even though it's only about 20 minutes to low water. So here's Urquhart's Bay, and over there's where we were last night. And you can see the difference in colour as the sort of greener water just come out of the harbour. There's the end of Mania Bank. Tide's still going out, but not by much here. Of course, it will turn at the edge of the channel first, and we're at the edge of the channel. There's a lot of people fishing here, the edge of the channel. Not so good, but the tide's coming in. So they're on the edge of Snake Bank. Fortunately, we have scooted. Oh, the other iPhone's gone flat. So we're back to the old one, that standard iPhone mic. So it's looking pretty bleak down there to the southwest. Oh, I think we'll bypass the Nook this time. This is another monohull that's running around at low tide. The bank is where it is. anchored in Parua Bay, so we came from that direction. There's Manganese Point, we're on the far side, and then we've got the large mooring field here, Parua Bay compound and clubhouse of the Whangarei Cruising Club's here. Outboard Motor Club is here with its launching ramps. Parua Bay Tavern's over here. Up here's Parua Bay School where the kids went, and there are some reefs around. It's not very deep, it's also very shallow, as you can see by the length of that wharf, and the knockers around the corner that way. Oh, the wind's turned around to the southwest, which is where all the grey was, and it looks a bit damp up there. To me that looks like light rain. Well, that's as close as we're going to get to a sunset tonight, I would think. It's 7:30 on Sunday. The wind's still blowing from the southwest and it's a bit foggy. Oh, it's coming up to 9 o'clock. Matthew's coming up with the truck full of stuff and needs a hand to unload it. He's heading off in 23 days to Mallorca for at least a couple of years. So Matthew's going to be working for Rig Pro over there. The anchor's up, a fair bit of mud to wash off it with the wash down hose. It's high tide in about an hour and a half, so we should be able to take a more direct line out over the banks. Oh, the sun's out on this side. We're going to cut the corner past home, seeing it's close to high tide. Here's looking back into Parua Bay. Oh, there's home in Jackson's Bay. And there's the mooring that Kathmandu used to stay on. Docked safely, had a kind person pass the starboard bow and stern spring onto the cleat. These guys behind us have turned round, they've got a jammed furler. There's a lagoon over there and all the berths on this pier are full, apart from the one on the end.